Hello everybody, welcome to AstroEdify. Today we are going to talk about Venus in 6th house. What kind of results we can expect if Venus is placed in 6th, positive, negative both. And if you are experiencing any negative results, which we'll discuss in a bit, then what are the remedies for that? That also we are going to see. So let's start this video. If you want to book a consultation for yourself, you can go on this website. The link is shown in the description. So first of all, we'll talk about the positive results of Venus in 6th. Now, when does this happen? So in this case, Venus should be strong and well placed in 6th. But understand, first of all, 6th house is a very vulnerable house for Venus, because in 6th house, naturally, no matter what sign it is placed in, 6th house is the Marnakarak situation for Venus. So Marnakarak means naturally it loses its power, its strength in the 6th. And irrespective of the sign, and if it is not well, means not getting support from other planets, or the horoscope in general is weak, then Venus will have a lot of capacity to create a lot of issues in life, which obviously I'm going to tell you later. But you have to understand that in 6th house, it is a very vulnerable, sensitive situation for Venus, and you have to look at it closely. So positive results I'm going to tell first, and then we'll see the negative. So when does the positive result happen? So first here is that if Venus is strong, so Venus is strong means it is in an own sign, exaltation sign, in Neech Bhanga, or in friendly sign, and the zodiac sign in which it is sitting, that this matters the most. So the zodiac sign in which it is sitting, the lord of that sign should be strong and well placed in the chart. And at the same time, sun, moon and ascendant lord. I've said it repetitively in the past that sun, moon and ascendant lord govern the inherent fundamental strength of the chart. If sun, moon and ascendant lord are weak or afflicted, no matter what, how much your other planets are well placed, exalted or whatever, you are not going to see expected results, even if you are running the dashas of such planets. So sun, moon and ascendant lord, if they are strong, well placed, and Venus is making good yogas, like it is sitting with benefics, or it is sitting with friends and making some good Raj yogas in the 6th house, or Viparit Raj yogas in the 6th house, then it will have capacity to give positive results. Now first of all, understand that any planet which is placed in 6th, it is its nature to bring certain problems and challenges, because that is what 6th house is. It is a Upachaya house and it is a Trika house, Dusthana. So 6th house represents obstacles, difficulties, competition, enemies, court cases, health issues, competition, any kind of fights, disputes, all these things, financial problems. So that is why it is not a good house. But any planet which is in the 6th house, it is going to throw challenges in front of you. If it is well placed, and the other planets are strong in the chart, like I said, sun, moon, ascendant lord are strong, then no matter what, whatever situation happens, ultimately person wins over those situations. Whatever the obstacles are there, you face them, you fight them, and you ultimately become victorious. So that is the positive element of any planet in the 6th. Venus behaves the same way. So it does not mean that that planet is going to restrict and stop the results of 6th. Impossible. You are going to see the results of the 6th no matter what. But ultimately, the planet which is well placed in 6th also gives you opportunities, as well as some positive traits in your personality to fight and overcome those issues, whatever they may be in life, which are thrown by the 6th in the person's case. So that is one positive aspect, that in this case, Venus will help you ultimately to win over the obstacles, whatever it can be. Next, depending on the zodiac sign, it can make person either emotional or logical, depending on the zodiac sign. So in 6th house, if Venus is, let's suppose, in making emotional to a person, it depends on the condition of moon and ascendant lord also. But it can either make person quite emotionally reserved, introvert, empathetic, humorous, compassionate, who has quite a love for nature and animals, and a natural nature or instinct to serve the society, to serve the people, serve the underprivileged. That kind of genuine internal feeling, where you are able to see and feel the problems or any kind of hardships of other people, whether you have went through them personally or not, that is altogether a different issue. Though the empathy part increases, if Venus is enhancing that emotion part, then it brings these qualities in a person, very good qualities. But at the same time, let's suppose depending on moon and Mercury, let's suppose it is making person logical, not very emotional in nature. So it can make person quite logical, practical, rational, skeptical, and foresighted. And person tends to take decisions based on the facts and not just on the whims or emotions. So that is how Venus behaves, because ultimately sixth house is a difficult house. So you have to see the zodiac sign. So let's suppose Venus is in water signs. So water signs are good for emotions. So it can enhance the emotions part. And let's suppose it is in signs of Saturn or Mercury, then the logic can enhance. So that depends on the placement. But yes, Venus can behave in either of the situations. But yeah, positive element will be seen in both the fronts, whether it is making person emotional or logical, that it depends. But the positive traits will be seen. Next point here is that it is also a good situation for the material prospects, because ultimately, see, sixth house is a house which becomes better over the period of time. So initially it can show that there will be certain struggles. You will have to fight for things, you have to face competition, you have to prove yourself, and you have to put efforts. But ultimately, whatever happens, whatever you get, it stays, it grows. So money, power, position, authority, recognition, whatever it may be. So it not only gives material ambitions to person that I want these things, I want to be successful, but also it gives ability to work. It gives ability to not shy away from the hard work, or be tough and relentless. That is what sixth house is. So if it is bringing that, and it can tire you sometimes, obviously, because Venus ultimately is emotions. It does not like to work too much. But ultimately it makes person that yes, with the period of time, whatever you have worked for, you get in return. That is a good part of Venus. So it is a positive situation for material growth with respect to time, particularly after the age of 29 or 30. So it brings growth on material basis, whether it is money, power, position, career, assets, house, or properties, lands, vehicles, whatever. So it can give that. So if you say that, okay, Venus is always bad, no. Sixth house Venus can fetch these material progress to the person. Obviously, if it is well placed, it can give these things. Next point here is that it also, Venus is society, Venus is other people around you. So, and relationships. So here, whatever, and sixth house is work, means whatever work you are doing, not always in the career front, whatever in general actions which you are doing. So sixth house here, Venus craves approval and recognition for the work towards other people in society. It's not a selfless service all the time. Whether person is pretending to do that, that is also a separate thing. Understand that Venus, ultimately Venus and Sun, they require certain attention, certain validation, certain approval, appreciation, recognition for the work, for the things that they did for somebody or themselves. So that kind of thing will be seen. But at the same time, understand that this situation of Venus can fetch recognition in public, society, or around the people. But when it comes to personal life, there becomes a challenge. Sometimes, or if other yogas are not good, then it can show that the recognition, approval, the value which you are seeking from your family, that my family should appreciate me, my family should think or sometime praise me or whatever. So those things are not very much fulfilled. So that becomes a hurdle where the relationships on a family scale or marriage or personal relationships tend to suffer. So Venus in sixth house is considered a quite difficult situation, no matter how it is placed. For the personal relationship part, societal relationships, they can function because because see, all the relationships which don't have an emotional angle to them, the business relationships, professional relationships, social relationships, where you know each other as acquaintance, you are not very good friends or whatever, but you know each other and you respect. So those relationships which are outside and which are not personal, where emotions are not too much involved, then there Venus functions really good, very well. And there you will find that really the relation is also supportive. When we require each other, people are there for me. And I am also getting, whether late or early, that depends, but I am also getting the the result of my actions, what I worked for, ultimately I'm getting that also. That is a positive aspect of Venus in sixth. But when it comes to the personal aspect where emotions are involved, then there becomes a challenge. Some or the other way, either of the two situations can happen. Either the person does not focus too much on the family, or certain valuelessness is there, or you are more focused on providing for other people and neglecting your own, and that creates a rift with the family members. Or the in the first place, the support or the recognition or appreciation or value that you thought that your family will give you, that didn't happen, and ultimately you thought that, okay, I should look out for this. I can't expect this in the home, I can look out for this in the public life. So either of these situations can happen depending on the chart. Next point here is that Venus here can also show, because sixth house is the natural house of Virgo. Virgo is a sign of perfection. Okay, and this I have seen several times, that irrespective of the sign, Venus in sixth house can, in terms of relationships, can bring a quality where person is seeking perfection sometimes. Boy or girl, that doesn't matter. But sometimes you are seeking perfection, that okay, I have some concept of a partner in my mind, and if that all the things are fulfilled, then only I'm going to move ahead. So, and it can function either way, understand, because it can make person really practical, that okay, marriage is a commitment, and both the parties needs to work towards each other. So either it can give you a really practical worldview, that okay, marriage is a serious thing, and until and unless I'm not prepared for it materially, I can't take that responsibility. But once I'm going to take it, I'll have to fulfill my duties. Either that worldview, or it can show perfection to a point where you are rejecting everything. You don't know what you want, or even if you know, you are just finding flaws all the time, that this is not there, this is not there. And ultimately, even if good people come around you, you tend to leave the opportunities, leave them. So that can happen. That depends on the situation of Venus and other planets who are controlling your relationship or marriage. Then, as I said, Venus in sixth house issues will be there. So Venus is emotions. So all the things which are happening, they will definitely impact your mind, emotions particularly. So it can bring mood swings, anxiety, fear, temporary depression, demotivation, unhappiness, disappointment, frustration, delays, and they tend to test you, that whether you will rise again, try again, move again, and you will fight for the things again. And ultimately, if you are willing to do that, it will give you success. So if Venus is good, or not only Venus, other planets also, they function in the similar way. So sixth house is the house of testing the person. It tests you to your limits sometimes. So it can push you on an emotional scale, because that is what Moon and Venus are. They are controller of your emotions, and that is how they function. But if the person is able to handle them, finally things go in their way. Then it is excellent for certain fields, for career or education. So Venus in sixth house is very good for financial industries, banks, audit, accounts, insurance, investment corporations, tax, revenue, or any financial institutions, fintech corporations, economics, commerce, anything. So financial industries, very good for social work. Now, all kinds of social work. We can see NGOs with this, or social welfare organizations with this. Then public service, law. Sixth house is good for law. Then sports, fitness, healthcare, medicine, life science, food and agriculture, hospitality, media, writing. In technology, specifically, Venus shows IT, electronics, communication, and electrical industries. And also good for people who are working like brokers or commission agents, or in licensing, those kind of things, or people who are like lobbyists, that can be seen. Defense organizations, defense sector, all kind, particularly Air Force and Navy, that is what Venus is. Merchant Navy can be seen. Politics can be seen if yogas are present. And Venus in sixth house, if it is strong, it gives competitive success. If you are giving certain exams, government exams, or any competitive exams for education or whatever, it gives you success there. And as I said before, very good for material progress. So material progress, even if it is coming, let's suppose later in life, but it will be there. So sixth house, Venus can give you material progress, whether it is money, wealth, luxuries, power, authority, career, reputation, whatever. Sixth house, if it is strong, good Venus I'm talking about, and Lagna is strong, other yogas are fine, definitely progress will be seen. And it can come later in life, like in 30s or after 30 years old, but yes, it will be there. Next point here is that if strong spiritual yogas are present, then Venus in sixth house is also good for mantra, dhyana, detachment, vairagya, bhakti, devotion, surrender, or spiritual, means a serious spiritual pursuit. Okay, so these are good results of Venus in sixth that we discussed. Now Venus is bad in sixth house, what happens? So see, if it is bad, by this I mean that it is in enemy signs, afflicted, like Sun, Mars, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn are afflicting it in bad signs, influenced by 6th, 8th, 12th lords. The lord of the zodiac means the zodiac sign in which it is sitting, the lord of that sign is badly placed in the chart, or it is in deep Papakartri yoga, Mrityu Bhag situation, retrogression, and in Navamsha it is badly placed, and parallelly Sun, Moon and Ascendant Lord, if they are also not good, definitely Venus in sixth house will create lot of issues, problems. I'll tell all the issues which can be seen here. Depending on the chart, it will vary. Don't jump to conclusions. Treat it as a source of information. See the entire chart in totality. Then arrive at a proper conclusion that, okay, this can happen for a person. Okay. So, if Venus is not well placed, first of all, sixth house is health problems. Venus is your mind, not mind, emotions. Venus and Moon are your emotional, mental health. They control it. So Venus in sixth house, let's suppose if Moon is also not strong, then it will enhance, tremendously enhance. So Venus in sixth, if it is bad, all kind of mental problems can be seen, like excessive mood swings, anxiety disorders, fear, paranoia, depression, meaninglessness, demotivation, sleep issues, unhappiness, no ability to feel pleasure in life, no concentration, very poor attention span, memory is not functioning very poor because your concentration is very haywire, and fear of missing out, desperate need for social validation, identity crisis, easily influenced by other people, bad company can be seen, all kinds of personality disorders can be seen. It can show psychotic issues if situations are really bad in the chart, and it can show abuse also depending on the chart, like any kind of trauma or abuse happened in life, that can be seen. Then it's not good a situation for education, because obviously if Venus is not strong in sixth and fifth, or education yogas are not fine, education will not be very good, it will be poor, and because the person does not have interest, or they find themselves in a lot of confusion, dilemma, challenges, learning issues. Venus in sixth can also, if it is bad, it can create autism spectrum disorders also, ADHD problems. Then physical health issues can also be seen, like diabetes, pancreatic issues, eye problems, skin, hair, urinary issues, kidney problems, hormonal problems, reproductive system problems, or means fertility issues, or genital organ issues, all kind of gynecological problems, PCOD, endometriosis, all these kind of things, low fertility or infertility. It can create accidents, vehicular accidents, because Venus is vehicles, childlessness, child loss, childbirth troubles can be seen, Parkinson's, obesity, or addictions of any kind, all kind of addictions, or animal bites, people who are bitten by animal, that can be seen. Relationship problems of all issues, all kinds, either there is no relationship, or relationship does not sustain, many failed relationships are there, all kind of issues are present, like severe delay, or problems to partner, like health issues or death of partner. You have to see yogas for that. I'm just mentioning all kind of possibilities. Then, because I already made yoga videos on about how to see marriage and everything in the chart, you can watch it on the playlist of the channel. But it can create other issues also, like commitment problems, or emotional distance, detachment, isolation, abuse, divorce, cheating, affairs, separation, greed, or any kind of relationship which is just made because of any ulterior motives, gold digging, attitude, all these kind of things can be seen. Financial problems of all kind, because 6,000 loans and debts, Venus is money, So loans, debts, losses, either no savings or not able to build or use assets when they are in need. It can create poverty in certain situations. Court cases, enemies, defamation, scandals, controversies, they can be seen. And any kind of indulgence in immoral activities, unethical, corrupt activities can also be seen in this case. So obviously these are negative results for Venus in sixth, but if you're experiencing any issues, I made videos on that, that how to improve the problems which we discussed. So I made the video on improvement of Venus, Moon and Mercury together. You can watch that video. Its link is given in description. And follow the practical and astrological remedies both. Seriously, you will be able to improve upon the situations no matter what they are, depending on the chart. That is how you can interpret that, okay, this is how a particular planet like Venus we discussed can exhibit result in sixth. So that's all for today regarding Venus in sixth. And if you're new to my channel, subscribe below for more posts, Facebook posts and reels. You can join my Facebook page, Instagram and website. The link are shown in description. Else we'll meet in the next video. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.